set of discontents from the
reason you did not.
Don't believe I should board my brain. First, karaoke on demand. Yeah.
I will select the Delta.
Yeah, man. are you doing now? How are you, my friends and neighbors? How have you been keeping? Did you have a productive day yesterday? Did you make money? Did you get a promotion? Did you do any whistleblowing? Did you see corruption? Did you point it out? What did you do? Were you patriotic as a citizen of this dear land of ours? Have you done anything that will undermine the apartheid government? How did you rest last night? Were you able to rest and recuperate? Or you were busy all night long? Oh yeah, welcome to the program, man. I'll share the live now. I'm going to little wishes, man. Share the live. Some of you are still affected by what you heard from the CCJ. That nurse Socrates says she was busy all night long. You see? I like that kind of honesty, Nadira. Tell them. They could be busy all night long too. I don't know. Can I answer the question? Cecile, yeah, I good, you know, girl. I good. I good, you know. I good in this apartheid state. I want to go over with you. I share life. I don't know why up to now we there. The numbers are so small. But we got things to talk about this morning. I say the faster. Cecile, yeah, I good, you know, girl. I could try a thing. The faster. The faster you share life, the faster you can start talking these things. June Cameron said you could sing to know. June, I'm a one-liner, y'all trust me. All the music I like the song, for the most part, I only know the chorus. If the chorus I can't, I don't know the entire thing, trust me. Y'all won't believe me. I'm the kind of guy who don't believe I should burn my brain with information that I can have on a tape or on a sheet of paper or something. So I don't walk around with lyrics to songs in my head and stuff like that. And that is why I don't think I can be a good karaoke singer. I really admire people who sing karaoke, trust me. Not only are they brave and bold, but they're talented. You have to be talented, right? To know, to stand there and look at the words and listen to the rhythm and know the tones and so on and so forth. That thing called for special talent. I can't do it. Even if I could call the words, I can call them. I don't call them, I can sing them. Right? So that thing calls for special talent. I want to shout out to all the karaoke lovers. And those who sing and so on and so forth. I love dub poetry. Dub poetry might be considered slightly different. I don't really know if it's different. Because now we talk about spoken word. Right? But spoken word has always been there as far as I know. Dub poetry, Basil Badshaw respect. Basil Badshaw was and still, I believe, remains one of the leading dub poets in this country. We got our own Jerry Hope in BUXTON. Right? But I love dub poetry. There's this thing that these young folks call, is it that what they call spoken word? I can't know. But there's this version of poetry that my good friend Renata Bonnet, is she Renata Bonnet? Yes, Bonnet does. That is the girl who had written the poem, Dear Mr. President, when will you just turn president? Big up yourself, Tondika Austin. Tondika has some good pieces too. Right? That's just recognizing the arts and the artists. Yeah. Dion Abrams is a poet, you know, he writes, I think he has a whole book of poetry. In my youthful days, I used to write poems. I used to perform, I acted on stage and all of that. An award winner. And thing I acted with the likes of everyone. So I have great respect for the arts and the artists, right? But I respect those who can sing. I'm a talk man, right? I could do a good piece of poetry too, because they talk for me too. But hey, like an actor, I will do poetry, but don't come to me with that sing thing. Yes, you see, you know, for the most part, I always feel on top of the world. I don't let the burdens of the world burn me down. Right here in life, we're talking about things. And the first thing I want to talk about this morning, I don't know if you folks know where the Brigham Secondary School is located. But it's located in, some people refer to it as a hole in Freeman Street. And Freeman Street is located where? Is it east or west? Well, the penitence, you know, I don't know the geography of Georgetown too well. I can admit that. I can find my way around. But in terms of knowing the geography of the place, I'm not too sure about the geography of the place. But what I can tell you is that there seems to be a problem there, security issue, you know, for the children. Okay? The issue is that a lot of robberies are taking place. Their children are being robbed of their assets. Right? Yes, it's East La Penitence. Freeman Street, East La Penitence. That is where the Brigham Secondary School is. And so, I am mentioning it this morning because it would be good, quite frankly, if the authorities, the powers that be, the Guyana Police Force can work out with the Ministry of Education, maybe with the City Constabulary. And since it's East La Penitence, there's an East La Penitence police outpost, I think, somewhere around Back Road. I think they call it Back Road or Front Road. And then there's West La Penitence Police Station, East La Penitence Police Station. I don't understand these things. But there's a police station at on Mandela, I think we call it. Right? There's a big police station there. East La Penitence, perhaps, or I don't know. More like East La Penitence. And then there's a outpost that might be West La Penitence by the cemetery road area there, along the ranges and things. So you have two police outfits in those areas, in that area. And so maybe they can organize so they can do coordinated patrols. They don't have to patrol all day as far as I know, but within certain hours, for example, the school morning session starts at school at 8:45 or thereabout. Maybe patrols can be had in the area from, let's say, 7:30 or 7 o'clock. 7 to 10. A 3-hour patrol. And then lunch starts at about 12 or 11:30, whatever it is. You do another hour patrol until the lunch hour is finished. And then you go back in the afternoon when school is dismissed. Because listen, our youth are our valuable assets. And it will be heart-rending. I don't want to know people who are going to be wrenching their hands and fingers and so on and saying, oh God, if we know this thing was preventable. It will be heart-rending, God forbid, for one of those students to be attacked by these robbers and injured and worse yet, killed. It will be on the conscience of the state, the conscience of the society. And so I'm making an appeal this morning. Please and thanks. Guyana Police Force, Cliftonikins, if you're listening or whoever listening. Mark Phillips, Kwame McCoy. I know Kwame McCoy has the interest of young boys especially at heart. Right? The girls are not likely to fight back, but the boys might fight back and they're going to end up injured or killed and so on. Kwame McCoy, protect them for me. Y'all make arrangements. Priya, Sitaya gal, she always cares according to her because we care. Right? Y'all do something. Do something. Organize so that patrols, police patrols, security patrols, and again this in South Cabal got access and control over a lot of security services around the country. All of them are paramilitary groups aligned to the PPP. Y'all do something for the country. Do something for our young people. So no one agency has to spend 3 hours out there patrolling. Y'all can split it up. 3 agencies could take the 3-hour shift, one apiece. But at the end of the day, all I'm appealing for is for some sense to prevail. And constant security and police patrol to take place in this Fremont Street location where the damn secondary is. Fremont Street and its environs. Because the youngsters are being robbed, they're being bullied, their things are being taken from them. Just yesterday, a young man lost his phone. I understand a young lady asked him to borrow it for a call. And as soon as she collected it, a couple of young men or a group of young men, whatever it is, took it away from her. Right? There are all kinds of allegations being made in relation to that incident, as if people got set up and so on. But at the end of the day, what is happening is not right. Our children are coming under attack, quite frankly, by young goons. Right? Petty thieves. And the state has a responsibility of providing security for its citizens, more so our children. So, please, y'all attend to that situation. I beg you. I beg you. Good. It's not the first. It's not the first time it has happened. It has been happening over a period of time. It has happened in the past. It has happened recent as yesterday. And the possibility is it will continue to happen unless action is taken to stop it. We can't have children going to school in an environment of fear. It affects their learning. It has a psychological effect on them. And parents, because parents who would like to give their children the assets that will make learning easy for them. This is the era of information and communication technology. When you have Wi-Fi available in school, when you're talking about smart classrooms, when you're talking about online delivery of content. And so there's some parents who can afford to send their child to school with an iPad, a laptop, a smartphone that will aid their learning. These things are no longer luxuries. These things are learning aids. But then as a parent, you have to start considering, man, I will send this child with this iPad and then my very effort to make this child comfortable and aid in the learning process might result in my his or her demise and my grief. Then I have to deny my child resources which will help them in the learning process. Let's do something about that. Right? Fremont Street is a penitence, right? Right? So let's do something about that, I beg you. Also, let me tell you that the people of BUXTON by damn side, you know, BUXTON people are soft. They don't like hearing a sense, you know. BUXTON people of old stock trade, Nana Collie and all y'all, big up yourself, great ancestors. Dan Kunchin and all of them. Big up yourself, great ancestors, tremendous respect, Prophet Girls and all of them. Right? Big up yourself. Those were real hardcore Buxtonians. When you talk about Buxton being revolution territory and resistance territory, so you gotta remember them Buxtonians. Because they never used to stand for nothing. They remind me of the saying, you never see a black toilet paper because black people don't stand people's shit. Right? Buxton represented that saying. We didn't stand in nonsense. BUXTON people stop train. Y'all never know why they stop train? It was a situation of taxation without representation. Right? The governor and the colonial rulers wanted to do as they like. Increase taxation and so on for BUXTONIANs and residents of friendship and things. Without consultation. Without representation. And there are villagers who say, we don't stand for this nonsense. We ain't gonna take this disrespect. I ain't taking this disrespect. We ain't taking it. And since the governor doesn't want to come and talk to us, we will stop him when he is going wherever he is going. And I understand he had gone somewhere to the east and perhaps on his way back, he was confronted with these people on the train and he said, well, you're going to stop and talk to where you're going to kill all of it. Understand that? Buxton people stood for something. There's some of us who are still standing for something. But that might be unfair, you know, and Dr. Hinds always defends his people. I fight for our people. But if I think that they're lacking, I call them out. Right? Some people say they're going to banish me from Buxton, but we're going to banish me too. I'm born and bred Buxtonian. They may belong to why they were on me. Anyways, so I say Buxton people yourself. Because a lot of the things which are happening in Buxton are people accepting right now. It got to be with yourself. We still get thin. You know, I talk about this 5-foot bridge that they're building into the burial ground, right into the cemetery. My one-man resistance and so on resulted in a 7-foot bridge. We get in a 7-foot bridge there. The engineer says the best he could do given the fact that he had already budgeted and all of that. Sometimes you gotta fight and stuff. You can't fight all the time because I'm of the form opinion of the engineer. And people must understand when you make mistakes, it makes you a bigger person to face those mistakes and work to correct them. I believe that we could have had a 10-foot, 12-foot, 14-foot bridge at the entrance to the burial ground there. If the engineer was man enough to go back to his bosses, his seniors and so on and say, listen, we miscalculated this thing, you know, we were wrong about that bridge. It's actually the access to the burial ground. And 5 foot and 7 foot wouldn't make much sense. While 7 foot is better than 5 foot, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. The minimum we need here is 10 or 12 feet. So that the hearse could actually drive into the burial ground to discharge its contents. Right? And so you make a case to your seniors why this thing should be revisited. But in a lot of instances, the first thing they see is that, hey, we're going to come out of flak. We're going to get blows. We're going to get blows from the seniors. They're going to beat you up. We weren't diligent enough and so on. And I ain't prepared to take that flak. Let the people take what they get. And so, with that attitude, all right, y'all end up with a 7 feet. Right? Y'all end up with a 7 feet. Y'all take the 7 feet. They can do better. But better could be done. But everybody in the chain has to be prepared to struggle for better. The engineers should have pride of place to know, well, hey, I am giving to these people the best that they can get. Because apart from everything else, he black like me. Yeah, he black like me. Right? Good. So I protested, we end up with a 7-foot bridge. Get down, so I say I gotta take what I get, but it's not like I got 100 people behind me protesting the size of the bridge anyhow. Good? There's several persons who would have passed and recognized and said, it's a small bridge they're building. I said, well, let's put it up on video and also I could share it around so they will understand that we're not happy with it. No, me no. Me want up on video. How we getting changes in this country? There's a problem in Guyana. Everybody wants change, but they don't want to sacrifice it. So last evening I went to my usual place of residence, Buxton South. And I met a group of villagers here complaining and grumbling and so on. What is happening? If you can remember me showing you a concrete bridge while I started discussing this bridge issue. A concrete bridge in Buxton South. That is the only concrete bridge built in modern time in Buxton, and it was built by the coalition to the value of about $7 million, 6 point something million, I think. That bridge was constructed and is giving access into a new developing area, what we call Section C Buxton. People are now moving into that section to develop their homes and so on, because naturally the village has exhausted its lands, east and west. North is exhausted, and so naturally people are now going south where their lands. If you understand the layout of villages like Buxton, you know that there was a section A, B, C, all the way down to Muzzy F. Right? So A, B, and C are, well, A I think was taken up by the state to accommodate the seawall and the buffer zone and so on. And so a lot of people were given lands back in C and D and so on. And so people are occupying the lands down C. So that concrete bridge was good. Is good, because it allows builders, materials and so on to be transported, heavy duty vehicles and so on. Right? Good. And so that's happening. A corner away, a corner east of that concrete bridge, is what we call the Buxton Middle Street. The correct name might be Clydewood 10th Street, perhaps, all the way down into Section C. There was a timber bridge there, and naturally, under the 25 bridge projects or 50 bridge projects, whichever it is, I lose count in the number by now, they're redoing that bridge. But lo and behold, they're doing a 10-foot bridge. Y'all see the problem there? This is a developing area. People are now constructing homes and so on. And so a 10-foot bridge is being constructed. And the residents, the people behind here are now up in arms, they're complaining. This 10-foot bridge doesn't make sense. It will not allow sand trucks to come across to bring over sand. It doesn't make sense, it is too small. And so there they were last evening and they're fretting about it and so on. Like usual, they say, let's put y'all on camera, they say, nah, we ain't put on. But we're going to be protesting tomorrow. Right? You follow what I'm saying? So we got another set of discontents in Buxton. Discontent here is not used in a negative way, in a bad way, so don't think. But people are not satisfied with what is being offered to them. A 10-foot bridge in a developing area, they're seeing problems. And they're saying to the authorities, this is not acceptable. We're not comfortable, we're not happy with it, we don't want to accept it. As a matter of fact, some of them planning to protest. And I seriously hope that the authorities listen. The challenge with that is, the challenge in this is that, and it goes to the idiocy of people who call themselves leaders. And who say they got the interests of communities and black people especially at heart, because the likes of Electoral and Mark Phillips and them go out of the way to prove how Afrocentric they are. Right? But when you know they're not Afrocentric, you gotta chase them sometimes. I am happy I didn't go to the Afro celebrations, observances hosted by Agda last week, because I thought it was going to be booing Mark Phillips. I don't believe he had any place there. He has lost his Africanness. Anyhow, we're talking about these bridges. Right? Now, people will ask why people are only now protesting the size of the bridge. Because it is only now people are aware of the size of the bridge. Get the picture. I just sat in his office and decided, some people want a bridge, they protested and so on and think, we're going to get our bridges. We're going to do 25 bridges and these are the sizes of the bridges that you can get. What we mean we don't replace. There's no forward thinking in that attitude. Now if you're really a leader, you're supposed to have a vision. If you don't have a vision, then you have no right leading. You're visionless. The blind can't lead the blind, it doesn't make sense. And so you go and you see an access dam with a 4-foot bridge because that is what the NDC could have afforded 20 years ago. And 20 years later, you put back a 4-foot bridge. You don't have a vision to say, well, this access dam should be paved eventually to a full-fledged road or street as we call it. And so the bridge should be built to accommodate vehicular traffic and so on. You don't have that vision, so you just put back a 4-foot bridge. And then when the people see is a 4-foot bridge going back there, then they say, but these people don't think. We are not occupying in this area. We have to bring in construction materials and so on. Why couldn't they give us a bigger bridge? And then they start objecting and they start complaining. By then you've already issued contracts. Contracts have been signed with builders. Builders have already acquired materials based on your contract. And so now you come and you tell people, we can't change the size of the bridge because the contractor already bought the materials. We can't change the size of the bridge because the finance department already wrote the check and nonsense like that. Whereas, if you were to consult with the people, okay, you conceptualize this project, I'm going to do their bridges to them. Consult with the people and ask them what they prefer. Should we do timber bridges with the same sizes? Or would you prefer we do fewer bridges with larger sizes and in concrete? But no, you don't consult. You're the czar, you're the boss, you know what you like. And here it is, people are complaining now. One would argue after the fact, after the contracts have been issued and all of that, that the bridges that they really are building really will not ease their burden. It will be safer for them to cross and so on. But it doesn't necessarily ease their burden in terms of getting the building materials to places and stuff like that. What is the correct thing to do? I said it before. The NDC had the authority to stop all construction works on these bridges. But will they? No, they wouldn't. First and foremost, the NDC is controlled by the PPP. And secondly, the administrative staff of the NDC will certainly be considering their jobs and their income, and they're prepared to put that at risk for no community. Right? So I must highlight that for you. I must bring that to your attention. And so let's talk about the morning after. It's the morning after the CCJ ruled. What did the CCJ say? In short, the all-round told the Albert. That's what the CCJ say, you know. The all-round told the Albert. Good. What do I mean by you're wrong to Oliver? I've been saying all the time to you. While the petitions are good, it's good to challenge these things in court. As politicians, as leaders, we have to understand that we have to battle, we have to fight on all legs. You can't file a petition and sit back and say the court will decide. You can't be like Brady and say whatever GPSCUU decides, that's it. You have to be prepared to do battle for what is rightfully yours, even if it is principle you're fighting for. Right? And so to sit back and say, we filed a petition, and that's enough. You're wrong. I maintain and I will maintain that Guyanese needed to be on the streets all the time to say to the authorities, we are not going to accept anything less than responsible and accountable conduct in relation to these elections. I maintain it. Right? Now the reality is, CCC has ruled, Petition 99 is dead. Petition 99, as far as I remember, is a petition which had all the gory details. All the gory details. The evidence would have been so interesting. Maybe I will have to ask Royce Ford and perhaps some of the other attorneys who was dealing with Petition 99 to come here and let's delve into the gory details of that petition, so that viewers can understand that that petition was intended to really provide evidence to show the rivers and the rigging. That petition would have addressed and called for explanations of why 47 or 49, close to 50 ballot boxes without statutory documents were found. Why these boxes represented a particular geographic area from about industry to Strathspey or Enterprise. Why these 47 boxes without statutory documents were predominantly from Indo-Guyanese communities, predominantly PPP supportive communities. Petition 99 would have been asking those questions because Petition 99 is where all of these details would have been presented. Right? How was it possible that 49, almost 50 boxes could have passed muster without statutory documents? Why is it these boxes, the votes in these boxes were not condemned as being unverified or unverifiable? Because if you don't have statutory documents, then you can't really speak to the credibility of the ballot boxes. Petition 99 would have addressed that. Petition 99 would have asked questions about the procedures at the polling stations. How is it in Essequibo, for example, boxes coming from Essequibo could have been accepted without statutory documents? Up until now, I don't know if those statutory documents were ever presented from what they call it, returning officers and so on from riverine communities. Petition 99 would have dealt with all of those details. But it's dead. What do you do next? Now that the CCJ has ruled, what's next? You got Petition 88. Do we still have Petition 88? I hope we still have Petition 88. Right? I think I might still have Petition 88, but it has not been heard in its substantive manner yet. Right? So now the push has to be to have Petition 88 heard in court, ventilated, and so on. I don't know what might be the above and so on, but assuming Petition 88 is still alive, and I'm assuming because I tell you truthfully, I have not been following what has been happening with these petitions, because like I've been saying to you all the time on this program, don't put your eggs in one basket. it's good that the petitions are before the court. I will cross that bridge when we get to it. Yesterday we crossed one of those bridges. We heard the ruling. Can't remember what's happening with the other bridge. So y'all don't ask me. I'm going to ask the lawyers to come on and explain. Right? But what should we do as citizens? Should we be sitting back and waiting for the conclusion of Petition 88, or should we be doing what we think are the necessary things to ensure that whether Petition 88 comes to its logical conclusion or whether the PPP 5-year term comes to its logical conclusion, we will get free, fair, and credible elections? I'm arguing and putting it to you that we should be doing the things necessary to ensure that regardless of whatever juncture elections are called, they are going to be free, fair, and credible. And free, fair, and credible elections start with a free and fair and credible list. A list that is free from dead people. Free from people who don't live in the jurisdiction. Credible. In that all the people who are represented on the list can be accounted for and are duly entitled to be on the list. You might have a list that doesn't have dead people in it. They might all be living. But you might very well find that 25% of that list are Venezuelan refugees or Bangladeshis or Indians out of their motherland or even some Asians. That doesn't make the list credible because it still has on it people who naturally are not supposed to be in it. And so we as a people, we have to be vigilant. We have to be on the alert all the time for these shenanigans which can make the list disputable. And we should be waging that fight day in, day out. Tuesday, some 12 o'clock, there is a protest in front of GCOM to call for a clean voters list. I will tell you this. When I started the protest, the numbers weren't large. But I can say that they were impactful. As of Tuesday last, those numbers have grown. Because the main opposition party, the PNC/coalition, has joined the protest. The AFC has not yet joined the protest. Let me be frank. I'm telling you this. I know this. I'm not seeing an AFC supporter on the protest line to this date. And so I'm calling out the AFC. Don't you believe that Guyanese deserve a clean voters list? Mr. Cameron, leader of the AFC? Or do you believe only one set of people must struggle this struggle for you to benefit at the end of the day? The coalition, the PNC, has not joined in large numbers, despite the command, the respect of the largest bloc of opposition supporters. They have groups across this country. If they were to bring out the Georgetown groups alone, the numbers would be in the hundreds. Why don't we have hundreds in front of GCOM with the support of the main opposition, PNC? I'm asking that question. Why don't we have hundreds in front of GCOM with the support of the AFC? I'm asking that question. A clean voters list is integral to any credible election. And we cannot wait until the 12th hour to drive home the importance of a clean voters list. We cannot wait until the 12th hour to drive home the importance of putting in place systems that will ensure the credibility of the data collected to create the list. Right now over GCOM, the government-aligned commissioners are resisting the purchase of equipment that will ensure that the fingerprints which are taken from registrants are accurate and credible. The commissioners who are arguing that, listen, gone were the days when you get somebody to stick their fingers in ink and roll them on a piece of cardboard, and you keep that as a record. There's technology out there where you can digitally capture the fingerprints, and so the records are digitized, and they can be easily cross-referenced. Now, if you have digitized records, you have software that can quickly analyze those and eliminate duplicates. And so if one voter, one registrant comes with the name Harry John and registers, you get his fingerprints, and then he comes back with the name John Harry and registers. When you take his fingerprints, it will show up as duplicate registration and very quickly eliminate the duplicity. But can you imagine people are sitting at the commission and resisting the use of technology which can ensure that the data collected is credible? Can you imagine that? I know that you know. Are you willing to sit back and allow these, I can't call them backward people, these stumbling blocks to democracy and progress, to continue to have their way? Or should you be out there in your numbers, in your hundreds, to say to them, get it right? Get it right. But we're not doing that. And we're going to wait until 11th to 12th hour to say, listen, this list is not accurate, it's not fair, this list is corrupt, and we're going to have a corrupted election. And then you're going to hear, the date has already been announced, ballot papers have already been printed, systems have already been put in place, money has already been spent, and so we can't change the election date. And then you're going to accept that. And as Sibalak, you must be an idiot. I am talking about progress. I'm talking about improvement in our systems. And I want to stop progress. I want to stop jackassery. So, we can't sit and wait. We have to start activism now. And I'm arguing like I've been arguing quite a while. No need to sit and wait on leaders. The people who are members of the PNC, the people who are members of the AFC, the people who are members of WPA, the people who are members of all of these political parties are first and foremost Guyanese. And so forget political allegiance and let us together as Guyanese confront these issues so that we can get it right. Right? Let's confront these issues as Guyanese so we can get it right. And so when you go there to protest and call for them to get it right, Rick. Sometimes I blame our parents. Seriously. I must ask Officer Myers and Lloydfield what they do with what. Do with what? Why don't I ask your father what he did with the condom? I'm positive he didn't use it right. Otherwise you couldn't be here. And I wish he had used it right. Some of y'all dumb and dumber. Nevertheless, I'm saying we have to act. Political leaders are supposed to lead. They're supposed to give guidance. But if they don't lead, then what? Should the citizenry throw back and say, well, we vote for that leader and that ain't leading in the right direction? We vote for Ramjatan leader and Ramjatan leading in the right direction? No. You can't afford to do that. You point the way. And you tell them that you either move or get out of the way. You point the way. And they either move with you or get out of the way. But no. Everybody waiting for the leader, blaming the leader for doing nothing. And we self-in winner. Good? What are your thoughts on the CCJ's ruling? I don't have any, well, I give what I think. I give my thoughts. I give my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Rick says the truth hurts bad. Yeah, I know the truth hurts bad. That's why I think you have the truth. That you are supporting a racist apartheid government that is sitting in the seat of power because of a corrupted election, aided and abetted by foreigners, the likes of Mia Motley, Gonzalez or whatever his name, Pompeo and the rest of the US administration. Yeah, that's the truth. You know, I can always talk from a position of knowledge because I was in the reconciliations. And so I contributed to the process of identifying fraudulent operations. I can tell you the names of people who we cross-checked and found that despite the fact that they were overseas, they voted. Despite the fact they were dead, they voted. I can tell you of finding Region 9 ballot boxes among Region 4 or Region 9 ballots among Region 4 ballots. I can tell you about that. How is it humanly possible? I can tell you about finding Region 6 ballots among Region 2 ballots. How did it happen? If not by electoral malpractice. And you know where you found those things? In areas that the PPP won. And this is no exaggeration. In areas that the PPP won. So when I talk, Rick, I talk from the bottom of my heart, as they say. And I stand by what I see. Just this morning I was recounting. The Bishop and I was in the same reconciliation for quite a while. Jonathan Yearwood and I were in one reconciliation for a couple of days. And I challenged them to come and say, what I'm reporting here is not factual. Right? You know, they usually say the law is not an ass, or the law is an ass, whichever one. Right? But part of the issue we have in this country is, in my mind, the narrow-mindedness of those who administer the law. Lawyers can come to the courts and talk all kinds of bull to have their way before the courts. And members of the judiciary sit there and accept all kinds of bull, quite frankly, to come to their conclusions. Some of them are downright lazy. They don't think outside that narrow box. And that is part of the problem we have in this society. And will continue to have. Just like many of the citizenry. They don't think outside that narrow box. The likes of Rick, they think in that box that is called racism, Apanjat, the 70s, that's where their thought processes are located. Then moving on to the box. They still talk about boredom. And they do so conveniently, they choose not to come out of that box. Because if they come out of that box, then they will be faced with the reality that the PPP is just as corrupt or even more corrupt than it accused the Burnham era government of being corrupt, electorally and otherwise. But if you truly love your country and you want to see growth and development, given the potential that we have, you're going to come out of the box. I encourage you to come out of the box. Come out of the box. If you come out of the box, you will see that despite the greater administration is not one that you liked, maybe simply because most of the ministers and members of that government don't or didn't look like you. That administration was superior to the one which we now have. It gave more consideration to what is good for the country and the people as against how we could thief out all the money. But I'm not saying that there wasn't corruption under the Granger administration. There was corruption. Every government can get corruption under. But the scope of corruption, the depth of corruption is what should be worrisome. And systems are being put in place to minimize corruption like SARA. Why, if you really and truly are sincere about wanting an accountable state and accountable government, why would you shut down an agency like SARA as soon as you get into office? You don't want anybody to police you while you're in government, while you are holding the purse strings of the nation. But you are coming and tell me that these people are good for us, good for this country, good for the economy. $1 billion US in the Natural Resource Fund. But people still catching hell. Let me read what is the Ford's press statement and the CCJ's ruling. Morning. Good morning. Morning, are you morning? Morning. It's Free Talk Friday. Share the live. What are you waiting for? I born and grow your training and nobody can move me from it. Not even the autistic president. I run things. Things don't run me. Nothing Kings can move me for me. Yeah, I think it is it's Free Talk Friday. Morning, neighbor, morning. We got Trevor Ben and Timon. They coming on a little bit from now. Yeah, a little bit from now they're going to come on. Yeah, I like hear the word a little bit. Right? Yeah, I like hear the word a little bit. But I'm not the kind of person who likes to settle for a little bit. Little bit doesn't always satisfy me. Little bit might sweeten you. And so you keep coming for more. So before I settle for a little bit, it's best I tell you up front. I'm not the kind of person who settles for a little bit. I desire more. And so don't come and give me a little bit money to get me to favor you. It ain't gonna work. Don't come and give me a little bit sweet talk to get me to favor you. It ain't gonna work. You might as well offer me all or nothing. There got some people who testify to that. Little bit this, little bit that. Especially when you say eating. I don't want to see a little bit stew on my rice at all. You could put a little bit rice, but ensure it's not a little bit stew. Right? Some of y'all got small mentality. Y'all like a little bit. Like a lot of trenchies who come on here in the mornings come to harass me for the little bit that the PPP giving them to come here and harass me. Right? Some of them declare me enemy of the state. Or as they say, public enemy. Because they get a little bit from the corrupt apartheid government. And they were told that I should be considered public enemy. Yes. Yes, Cecile, I Grumsy. I like them Irish sugar. Grumsy is sweet. It's Free Talk Friday. I suppose I got Team Ben on. I see Eslin, I think. I wonder where the others there. Yeah, so don't settle, folks. One of the problems we got in this society is that we settle too easily. Right? We settle too easily. Settle for this, settle for that, settle. You know, some people don't believe that they deserve more and can get more. They got this little bit mentality where they believe that because somebody say, we only a little bit forgive you, they must accept it. No, you don't have to accept a little bit. You have to, listen, people treat you according to how you treat yourself. It's as simple as that. What is your value in your eyes, your mind's eye? What do I worth? Public servants, y'all worth a pittance. Y'all worth a visit when he comes around to a special general meeting. Well, I know. Y'all worth a special payout at the end of the year as it approaches Christmas because you if the apartheid government doesn't give you that special payout as it approaches Christmas, they're keeping in mind that, hey, these people might revolt around this time, and our friends on Regent Street and in the commercial districts will be uncomfortable. Business ain't gonna do. So, let me get a little bit. Are y'all accepting a little bit? They say when your hand in Tiger Mouth is when you're the party head. Y'all don't put this government hand in Tiger Mouth. At no point, bam. Y'all comatose. This is October, we're approaching November 10th. This is the time to start creating havoc. We are waiting for. No. public servants. And let me be a little more specific. Them black people want a peaceful Christmas. They want to celebrate. They're going to settle for a little bit. And he promised them you're going to get raised pay by the end of the year. Little bit you're going to get. What you getting last time? 7% after 2 years? I guarantee you. Because I know the PPP, you know. They don't pay not more than 5%. Hey. You're going to get a little bit. And you're going to take it. And while they're giving you a little bit, and they expect you're going to be a little disgruntled and so on, they're going to give you oppressors who look like you, those who aid and abet your oppression, right? A tax-free month salary for them to pick up their guns and aim them at you and tell you stay quiet. That's what I'm thinking, that's what I'm feeling. Right? I said it for a little bit, man. Glenlal got a video out there, you don't talk about Glenlal. But apparently Glenlal made it his duty to go to Ghana to see firsthand what the Ghanaian economy looks like, what Ghanaians are going through. Saying of this, they only could pound cassava for our meal. A lot of them living off of what? $2 between $2 and $4. While the people who overlooked, who controlled the wealth of that country for more than 40 years are filthy rich. And the majority of the citizens are wallowing in poverty. Y'all think it besides us? Y'all really believe that it can't happen? Look again. It is happening already. I saw somebody with a post last night who said the autistic president, the dancing monkey they refer to him as, is distracting all of you with his antics while becoming quietly one of the richest men in this country. Have you paid attention to that? Do you know that the First Lady's budget for doing almost nothing far exceeds that which is given to the office of the leader of the opposition and many of the ministries that have real work to do with money? Y'all didn't know though. Y'all continue accepting a little bit. And you can see where it will land you. Where is Team BENN? Esling, good morning.
Good morning to you, Kadaki. How are you?
I good. How yourself?
I'm all right, I'm grateful to God to be alive. Yes, and I'm raring to go, Kadaki.
It's where all the team members, you know, if they're going to turn up late on the 24th, they're going to lose the election without even turning up. Elections.
They turn up, don't worry. They'll be in their numbers.
Elections are rigged before election day, you know, so the best turn up.
And turn up on time.
Exactly, that's my point. Who else is expected to be with you? I got a long list of people. Where are they?
The Hill McCalmont, and you just might have John Anderson.
Okay.
Not too sure about him.
And is Trevor BENN joining you?
He just might be joining us. I'm not too sure also.
All right.
Trevor.
Okay, I can get off with my viewership because I got nothing to tell him in the meantime while we wait for the others.
No problem. No problem.
Right, good. So we talking this thing. Y'all ever said they got a certain man that say, listen, I born in Essequibo. I train in Essequibo. I was stationed in Essequibo. I was still stationed in Essequibo. And I'm going to die in Essequibo. After 20 years of being stationed in Essequibo, nobody can move me. That's a policeman. Right? Reports reaching my desk suggest that, not suggest because we see the evidence all the time. This is the period when you're seeing the racists coming out of the woodwork. They're emboldened. A few months ago, I told you about an Indo-Guyanese nurse at Best Hospital, they call it, on the west side, that told the husband of an African woman, I ain't gonna lick she unless she there for dead. Yes, healthcare worker told somebody of a different ethnicity, I ain't gonna look your wife. I'm gonna leave she there for dead. The matron, the sister, whatever you call her, got involved. And she was told, you can't make her apologize. You can't make her write no statement. In short, you black, blue and things. I never so often you get reports of these things happening. Ever so often, you get reports of these things happening. So coming out of the ranks of the Guyana Police Force, in Region 2, the ranks are, senior and junior ranks, are displeased over a situation here. It is a rank, I think, by the name of, get the name, name is that problem. Ramsewa, that is his name. But he is bold enough to be openly racist and discriminatory against ranks that are not of his ethnicity according to this report. Yes, Ramsewa. I will read the missive that was sent to a senior female officer of the Guyana Police Force. It's a plea for help, if I can call it that. A pleasant good morning to you, ma'am. We, the ranks of Region Number 2, must acknowledge the fact that you are doing a great job, and we appreciate everything you do in the interest of this wonderful organization. There's the buttering up part. I usually, you always start certain things with a little buttering. So there's the butter up part. On behalf of some of the senior ranks and mostly the junior ranks that are stationed at Region 2, we must bring to your attention the manner and conduct of the following ranks. ASP on probation, Ramsewa. ASP is Assistant Senior Super, who is in charge of the Court Prosecutor's Office, Region 2. And is also officer in charge of Number 1 Sub since he joined the Guyana Police Force. Upon completion of his training, he was posted to Region 2, then G Division. He's a racial person, especially African police ranks. He does it blatantly. He talks in front of us that he born in Essequibo, trained in Essequibo, and he would retire in Essequibo. He claims that he's the landlord for Region 2, and that no whoopsaki, big word body, even to the president, can't move him. Since he's the only officer who can be in charge of CARNIVAL for more than 20 years. Never worked in any other division, as he claims. He's unmovable. Does not respect higher authority, and is bold to arrogantly say the PPPC government is protecting him from moving. It is alleged that his father-in-law is a well-known drug dealer. Everyone knows about his illegal dealings. Right? His father-in-law is somebody they call Gus. We are fed up. When especially indictable matters come before us, you would brief the defendants he always finds something that would cause the matter to be dismissed. And he would brief the defendants and take their money to have the matter dismissed. As of recent, a firearm with ammunition was found at Supinam, Essequibo Coast, by the ranks of the Anna Regina Police Station Anti-Crime Patrol. And in the admin meeting a few mornings after, the said officer Ramsurak told the commander, quote, "I hope they can give the evidence. As a prosecutor, he has been compromised. He has compromised his position by being corrupt. As soon as the division gets a new commander, he along with others would whisper in their ears and they would have to do what he says. We are fed up of being fight down by him, and if we complain to anyone, we the ranks are being victimized by him. He abuses his power and allegedly transports the cocaine for his father-in-law. And arrogantly tells us he can't move from here, how he does pay. And he has been doing it for the past 20 years. He also said that because the DSP Thomas and Superintendent Rublal are on leave, and this place is secured in Region 2. We the ranks who are from Georgetown, Borbis, and have to face his brute power don't have anyone to tell, or else we get victimized. We are pleading with you for your office to look into this matter of importance and have him rotated to another division. His corruption is so barefaced. As of recent, he took $2 million from a well-known businessman called Gus because he knew the matter would have been discharged. There is also Inspector Ganesh, the finance subordinate officer, who is just as arrogant and normally sells the government fuels to his friends. When as force drivers, we go for fuel. We have to wait long hours because he comes to work at a time that is pleasing to him. And when we the ranks have to travel and go for traveling, he always says that he doesn't have money to give us. He also would speak and say, not even the commander, not even the commissioner, Mr. Hicken, could move or transfer him, since he's the only trained finance subordinate officer in Region Number 2. We are begging you to have these two ranks rotated to other divisions. They never worked anywhere since their initial training, close to 20 years now. And I'm sure you have to work in other divisions. And that's why an inspector that recently submitted his resignation said, they are here for 20 years but never worked anywhere. And only certain people are being rotated. The ranks feel is brute force daily, especially against African ranks. Ma'am, we know you at least will read and maybe inform other senior officers as to this nonsense that we are faced with. That's from the police ranks stationed in Essequibo. And since we're talking about police matters and corruption, favoritism, and so on, let me read another article about police. Please be informed that on Tuesday, that's in the week of the 14th, whichever Tuesday that is, in the week of the 14th of October, around the 11 in the morning, members of GRA attempted to search the premises of CMC Reliable Security, located in Sachi Bazaar Street, Prashad Nagar, and were prevented from entering by its overseas owner, Vishal Mohan, a close friend and business associate of the big man, You know the big man is right, the artistic president, or could be the ballot vice president. One subsequently made a call to someone high up, and the officers were called and told to back off. They only succeeded in searching the sub-office of the same security service in Ornock Street, Queenstown. Check with GRA, you can confirm this. These people, previously named, are under the radar of the DEA and CANU. And information also received was that CANU was preparing to launch a search of their premises and also told to back off. I'm sure James Singh can't deny that. The company is involved in a lot of high-profile, on-the-world crimes, but everyone knows that they are protected by a very senior Guyana Police Force official and the big man himself. So much so for crime and crime fighting in Guyana. I just share with y'all letters that come to me, right? I'm not trying to be... And this morning is Free Talk Friday, so we're talking about these things. It's 7 hours 35, it's 25 minutes to the 8 o'clock hour. And so I am going to be talking with a representative of Team BENN. And since I like to throw lashes, let me say one time, I'm not pleased. And I don't take it lightly when people ask me to reorganize my schedule to accommodate them and then they don't show respect for that. Right? Y'all know me. I start my business. I think can we get a little bit more lighting in your area? You're coming across my screen is dark.
Okay, let me see.
Marshall Erskine says every day I complain and people are fed up of my fairy tales. But is it Marshall Erskine? Is Marshall Erskine the only person who believes that these are fairy tales? Marshall, are you living under a rock? Don't you know that Guyana is one of the most corrupt places? Check the corruption index and see how many places Guyana has slipped since the PPP took office. Right? Check that. Some of y'all are too shameful. I don't know who y'all is defend. Y'all try to defend the indefensible, quite frankly. Right?
Is it better?
Well,
good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
John Anderson, good morning, doctor.
Good morning to you, my brother.
If I were a patient, I might have been dead by now.
My patients tend to live, you know.
Huh?
My patients tend to live and live pretty well.
Well, perhaps you have more respect for them than you have for my time.
Well, I never made a commitment to be on the program this morning.
Okay, sir. I hear you. Let's not discuss your dirty linen in public.
But one of my friends could punch me this hard without me responding.
Let's talk about your friends over the Guyana Public Service Credit Union, the Committee of Management, and this special general meeting. That is what we can talk about.
Surely, since you invited me to comment, I'll go right ahead and give that the time is going.
No, but wait, John. Wait, Doc, I said us. Let us talk. That doesn't mean you get the first go. Lady Evelyn was here since before Board's Wife Week. So she gets the first go.
I apologize.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Good morning again to you. Good morning to your viewership, and thank you for having us. You know, Kadaki, we are at a critical point. Now, everyone knows that the court has made a ruling, and their ruling is specific to the member's petition. Even as we speak with you, we have no information that would suggest to us that the Committee of Management has been making any arrangements to have the special general meeting be conducted based on the members' petition. First, let me outline to you what is contained in the members' petition. It specifically asks that at the special general meeting, a vote of recall shall be made against the Committee of Management, and an election shall be held at the same time. It goes on further. It recommends that the following of management, and those 9 officers referred to are the following: Ms. Gillian Pollard, who's the secretary, Ms. Karen Van Slyckman Corbin, Ms. Ruth Howard, Ms. O. Saskia Eastman, and forgive me, I have to be saying this all the time. There's another name attached to Ms. Eastman. It's more of a African name. I won't attempt at pronouncing that name. You have Mr. Charles Ogle, Mr. Corwin Mars, Mr. John Ormenstein, Ms. Leslie Noble, and Mr. Arthur Gibbs. Now, one don't need to ask a question, why would they not make all the pleadings, if you may, within the members' petition, make it available, including demand that the meeting be held virtually and in person in all of the 10 administrative regions, utilizing the same mechanism, the very same mechanism used to conduct the 2021 annual general meeting, at which the present Committee of Management members were elected, and that the same e-voting service provider be utilized. Now, we were able to get some information that says that the Committee of Management only reached out to the service provider on the 11th, 11 days after the court order was issued. Now, it begs the question, why wasn't there earlier interface with the service provider? It is obvious, given what is contained in the members' petition, they are running scared. Based upon what is contained in the members' petition, they are hell-bent on disenfranchising the wider membership because they don't want to have to be able to face off, to one, explain all that would have transpired from the 13th of May to present. And that is what has been going on. I know Dr. Anderson would have some more specific information as it relates to the online voting, as it relates to the delay, as it relates to why we believe they are stalling and so on.
Yes,
well, Kadaki,
yes.
Well, Kadaki, if I may,
I am sure the viewers didn't hear me, so I want to repeat myself. My microphone was off. So I was saying that I'm speaking on behalf of the management committee. If I know that this petition, all of these, let me call them remedies that this petition seeks, are against me and my existence as a member of the committee of management of the credit union. If I know all of these things are against me, why do you think I would want to implement them? Some philosopher said years ago, only a fool will get power and lose it. Why do you think the management committee would want to implement all of these things despite the rulings of the court?
Well, Kadaki, well, they have a choice. And for me, the only choice is to respect the order of court. There's no other option.
Okay.
Or they can decide if they want to go to the other side. Yes, all of this could have been avoided, but now that this is water under the bridge, there's no need now for us to have that kind of conversation, but rather there's need now for us to take it to another level, which is the hosting or the holding of the special general meeting as asked for by the members' petition.
And Dr. Anderson, let me hear your take on this this issue.
All right. Good morning to you, Kadaki. Good morning, Eslin, and good morning, viewers. So we have ventilated sufficiently the fact that the judge has given a very clear and concise and specific order of what should be done. And at this point, there is no indication that what the judge has ordered has been done. One can assess that response or lack thereof and conclude, if one so desires to make a conclusion, that there is a great degree of disrespect, not just for the membership, but for the laws of Guyana and for Judge Narendra Singh. It clearly means that the Committee of Management seems to believe that they have a power, some sort of power that is higher than the court system, than the judge and the membership and everybody. And I don't know if it is divine power they're accessing or they're demonstrating. I don't know how one would feel comfortable disrespecting a judge's order, even though the judge was very clear that anyone on either side who disobeys the order will be held in contempt of court. And I mean, these guys are pretty brave. But having said that, we as membership are waiting to be so informed and guided by the Committee of Management in relation to the specifics of the special general meeting. And every opportunity that I get to speak to this issue, I would make a point of saying that all that we see happening speaks to the attitude of the Committee of Management toward the members. Now, as a member, I certainly have drawn a conclusion. But in addition to that, I did observe in the public space several engagements by the Committee of Management as they attempt to convey their own narrative on this matter. There is one point I want to zoom in on, and that is a suggestion by some members that non-members may be brought in on election day to cause confusion, and that persons who are coming to the meeting, to the special general meeting, should arm themselves in the event that there is some sort of violent behavior. Now, this is a very new and troubling introduction into this whole situation, which, by the way, the situation is not called for. It's a simple situation. The members have called for a special general meeting. The judge has awarded the members' petition, which didn't have to even go there if it was that the Committee of Management had respected the members. And now you're seeing this introduction now of talk of violence, and it's not coming from Team BENN. It's coming from the other side. And, you know, old people say, when blind man tell you he will pelt you, he already has his stone. And I am very concerned now as a member and as part of Team BENN or the concerned group of members as to what is really the intimation behind that statement. Is it that there is a plan to bring in unsavory characters to cause confusion on the day and even cause injury to people who might be there to cast their vote. To me, this is a very, very disturbing and troubling and scary introduction into the conversation. Having said that, I would like members to be on alert and understand that we seem to be dealing with people of a very low moral and lack of decency. Why would you want to introduce violence into a simple election of a board of an entity that is a savings entity for public servants? I don't know the answer to the question that I'm putting out there, but it scares me. I heard it only yesterday. But having said that, the committee of management, I would say, would do well to respect the judge's orders. Now, the same committee of management benefited from online voting and was elected via that process along with, it was a hybrid voting system. And they benefited from that same process. They were a part of the process. They understand the process. They know the timelines for achieving certain goals within that process. And they did not question this process last in 2021. So now that we're seeing all of this, these shenanigans, it begs the question of how genuine these people are in their attempt to put forward a narrative. Here it is that the same company that was used last year, which is a company that is well acclaimed in terms of its recommenders, the people who would recommend this company are not fly-by-night organizations. These are top organizations within the Caribbean. And therefore, this committee of management knows the company, worked with this company last year, understands the company's capacity and capability, so that they know the timelines that if I go to this company within a particular time frame, this company will not be able to be able to pull out this election. And therefore, one has to ask, them being armed with this kind of knowledge, how is it that you can go so late to the company? Whose intelligence are you trying to insult by telling us that you now realize that you have to go to the company with a short time left, and you're going to ask the company to perform a miracle? So I don't know if my schooling will allow me to believe what the committee of management is attempting to foist on us. Today is Friday. Tomorrow is Saturday, which is not a working day. Sunday is not a working day, and Monday is a holiday. I would like to know, how will the committee of management ensure that we have persons, the list of persons who will be elected, nominations? How will they achieve nominations, e-voting? We don't know, in all of the 10 regions, we don't know where the locations for voting will be for those persons who will want to go in person in all the regions, and so on. We don't know any of these things. I would like to know what miracle they will perform between now and Monday. I know Eslin said I would speak to some other issues, but for the sake of time, I will stop now.
I am putting it to you. I'm putting it to Team Ben. That come Monday there will be no meeting. There will not be any meeting, and there will not be naturally any elections, because my information suggests, number one, that the present committee of management aimed to approach the judge for either stay or a variance of his order. And secondly, like you indicated, a late approach was made to the online company, and the committee of management was informed that the company will be unable to facilitate their request in such a short time. Like you said, you receive information of a lot of things, including the threat of violence. Old people say forewarned is forearmed. What is Team Ben doing, or what has Team Ben done in terms of trying to counter, if you want to call it, the delaying tactics of the present committee of management. Has there been an approach to the judge for some further order to ensure that his previous order is respected?
Yes.
Dr. Anderson, Eslin, let me ask Dr. Anderson. I know he has to leave for work. I don't know if he wants to give us a response quickly.
Yes, I want to. So yeah, I'll do that and then I'll leave. So we abide by the law, and that's what we've been doing all along. And we believe that given the fact that this matter has the attention of the court, that there must be some remedy within the legal system to prevent what seems to be an intended disruption of the elections process. And certainly what we will do is consult our legal people to get advice on how to ensure that what I plan to be inserted will not succeed.
Thank you, Dr. Anderson. You're free to leave. I have other questions in terms of, with regard to that response and so on, but I know your job has to take priority over this. But my thing is, I've heard a week ago, for example, that we are going to consult with our legal team. This is the 11th hour. Are those consultations still happening? Eslin, have they happened? Has any approach been made to the courts? What?
Yes, Kadaki, we have consulted with our legal team, and yes, we will be heading back to the court. We will be heading back because, as it's now public knowledge, the committee of management, they're hell-bent on having it their way. As a matter of fact, word on the ground suggests that they are in conversation with some other service provider, a name that remains unfamiliar to most persons, to most of us, the membership, and not only Team BENN. We're asking around, nobody seems to know. But we will be heading back to the court. We will be having a conversation with the judge because the committee of management, they continue to disregard the order of court. And we believe it's not by mere mistake. It is a deliberate attempt because why? And the argument, we understand the argument is they were not in court, but their 3 attorneys, they were in court when the order was given. So I don't understand why the committee of management be saying, look, we weren't in court and we didn't have a good understanding of what transpired and what the judge said. You had 3 attorneys there that you paid millions of dollars membership money to represent you. So at this 9th hour, we are not prepared to be in that gaffe. That's a gaffe. We're not into gaffing. We are going to appear before the judge, and the judge would make a decision because we know it is a clear contempt of court. So we will be heading back there.
So that's Friday. When is this intended conversation going to take place?
The conversation is likely to take place today, Kadaki.
Okay.
We don't have time on our side.
All right, so Monday's supposed
and we could not have gone before because for us it would have been premature. We were waiting, very hopeful that no, these people would not go against the order of court. They would get it right. But 9th hour, nothing doing, rather some sort of, as members say, a mess conference yesterday. Talking about violence, insinuating violence, and you got to come armed, you got to come prepared, and these kind of things. So we will have none of that.
Let me ask you this. This meeting is scheduled for Monday. Would you be supportive of a postponement?
Kadaki,
so that there can be strict adherence to the judge's order.
Yes, Kadaki. I am sure that Team BENN would not be averse to a suggestion that is in keeping with the members' petition, because we wish to have the petition be honored to the letter, and we would not be averse to such. It spells out clearly what needs to be done. It spells out clearly what the agenda should be, and we would not be averse to such.
Question. I have mentioned receiving reports of the online company previously used to conduct this election saying, listen, we can't facilitate this request, at least based on the time it was made. If the company continues to be unable to facilitate for perhaps what I might want to say an indefinite period of time, is Team BENN willing to work with any other company? I heard you mention of some alternative that the current committee of management is perhaps in conversation with. Unknown, as you say. But if they are proposing, well, we can't get the services of this current, the previous group, is Team BENN willing to work with another? And what will be the, what should I say, criteria for working with them?
Okay. So Kadaki, thank you for that question. Very important. So Kadaki is not simply about working with another entity, another service provider. Now, the service provider that was used in 2021 is one that would have served in other jurisdictions throughout the Caribbean. So you know what they have. They have the capability. They have the wherewithal. They've been tried. They've been used. They've been tested. The ratings are very high. So at this stage, any other service provider being suggested by the committee of management, it has to be one that can withstand. We have to know, were they ever used? Were they ever tried? The capacity, the capability, the reach, where they would have served. Nationally, regionally, internationally, we need all of those. It's not about them coming to say, look, we can't get X, therefore we want Y. We are not prepared to accept an alternative just because we want to have this election. The alternative must be able to withstand scrutiny. Because you would know, with this online voting and so on, you don't want when you put in your ballot for Team BENN, it comes out differently. You don't want to know when you put in one vote and it spits out 10 votes contrary. So we wish to have one, and I believe the reason why members insisted and they would have itemized it is because in 2021 there was no difficulty, they had no hiccups, they had no complaints. As a matter of fact, the reviews coming out from 2021 is that the service provider was very efficient. Very efficient. And if we have such reviews, and you can go online and check the service providers, Rose IT, and check the reviews from every jurisdiction that they would have worked with. So why would they not want such a company? Why would you delay 11 days after the court order? What is the agenda? And these are questions members are asking. What is the agenda of the committee of management in this whole thing about the special general meeting? You made a very important point. Given what is contained in the petition, well, why would I or why would we be in a hurry to get this done? Why would we even place it on the agenda? But guess what? It's more than that. The members' petition was taken to court and the judge would have made his ruling saying it's legal, it's valid. So we don't have a choice. They don't have a choice. They have to abide by the contents of the members' petition.
Thank you for your response. We are at Friday. This meeting is supposed to be on Monday.
Yes.
Threat of violence and so on. Is it possible Team BENN can get the Guyana Police Force higher ranks of the Guyana Police Force to ensure that this doesn't eventuate?
Yes, Kadaki, that's high on our agenda because we only have the information. The information was made available to us late last evening. So it's something, yes, we need to address, and we will be addressing it because you can't have the committee of management coming with a big stick approach, and they're aware members have no confidence in them, and then now you're going to be introducing violence, and not subtly, up front, without shade, they're introducing violence. So we have to be able to protect ourselves and protect the general membership, because they might just want to plant amongst the membership someone or some groups of persons to do what they want to do. But we will have none of that. Our members are raring to go. Our members understand what is before them. They understand that they're going to the special general meeting to execute the pleadings in the members' petition and to get the business of the credit union up and running again under the capable hands of Team BENN. Management and respectability of membership is really, really lacking. So yes, we will be engaging with members from the Guyana Police Force at some point. We got to put our heads together to see how we can get this at least in place for Monday's special general meeting.
It's 5 minutes past the 8 o'clock hour. In closing, let me ask you this then. It's Friday. Membership is not aware of the preparations that have been made for this meeting. They do not know who the quote-unquote delegates are. They do not know if there is going to be online voting. Should they stand ready to attend and participate? How do they, a lot of people are in uncertainty. How should they approach Monday?
Well, Kadaki, we've been advising members to come out to the special general meeting as was scheduled in one of the dailies. I think it was the 10th of October, the Chronicle. Even though that notice is void of an agenda, we are encouraging members to come out in their numbers to the Central High School. This is on Princess Street, just next door to the Amerindian Hostel. Come out there in your numbers. Come out and voice your concerns, because we are, as we speak, we are expecting to have the special general meeting be conducted. One, we are aware that up until now, we have no clue as to the online aspect of the election. We have no clue as to where members in the remote areas can go vote in person. We have no clue as to nominations. We have no clue as to how the proceedings will unfold on Monday. But we're asking the members to come out. It commences, the notice says 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. Come out on Monday. Come out and let us make our presence felt. But as I said before, and my colleague John said before, we are very hopeful that today, coming out from the engagement with the judge, we will have the way forward. But nonetheless, come out on Monday and let your voices be heard. This committee of management, they ought to be aware by now that the membership, they're disgusted, they're frustrated, they're not even getting any information that could sway them for the other side. They're saying things like, they're asking, at this 9th moment, why are you still teaming on Mr. BENN? We don't need to hear nothing about Mr. BENN. That's not water under the bridge. You're passing no confidence motion. He was not given the opportunity to be heard. We don't want that. We want to know about your plans, your programs, your policies, your vision, how you plan to treat with us. Do you plan to continue to disrespect us? Do you plan to continue to embarrass and belittle us? Do you plan to continue to mismanage the organization? And this is the only place we have as members where we can go and we can be certain that we can get a loan at minimum interest rate. This is the only place we know we can go and we can have a mortgage. We can improve on our economic position, where we can go and we can say, look, we take a little vehicle loan to improve in my living standards. Members, come out and make your voices be heard. Come out and vote for Team BENN. You can't get it better, because up until now, they can't even say to membership, the persons on their team. Are we to suggest that it's the same 9 persons? Members don't want that. I personally don't want that. And I don't want it because I'm not convinced that they have the wherewithal. I'm not convinced that they're taking the credit union in the right direction. I'm not convinced that they can manage that entity to the benefits of the members. I don't believe so.
Thank you. So in short, in closing, I heard you say it, but what makes Team BENN the alternative or the better alternative to this current?
Well, good question, Kadaki, and thank you for asking. Well, voting for Team BENN is voting for leadership that you can trust. It's voting for integrity. You're voting for fairness. You're voting for transparency. You're voting for accessibility to all the products being offered by the credit union. You are voting for accountability. And when I speak about accountability, I'm speaking about controlled spending of the credit union finances. You're voting for a strong leadership that cares, a strong leadership that is committed to ensuring that the members of the credit union are respected. You are voting for a vision that can transform not only the infrastructure, but that can transform your personal life, your economic position. So while the other side might be saying, oh, this and that, and the old personality attack, we're not into that. We are committed to providing excellence in serving the membership at all times. We are into servant leadership. We understand what it is to serve. We understand what it is to be a leader. And we are prepared to serve the membership in a servant leadership fashion while ensuring that effective mechanisms are in place where members can be reached, committee members can be reached, where we can have an intimate relationship with our members and to address issues as they arrive. Address because members, they have a whole lot of issues and there is no place for it to be ventilated because the committee, the present committee of management, as the Rastaman would say, they ain't got time. They ain't got time. But no, they have to make time. We would be making time. We would avail ourselves so we can be in constant contact with you and you can be in constant contact with us to have your needs addressed. And, you know, we will create this platform whereby all decisions and policies and products would not be Team BENN, but we will have what we call an open door policy. Yes, persons might say open door policy, oh, this is just a common phrase, but it's an open door policy in a good way. It's an open door policy where it would be actually seen that you can meet us individually or collectively to voice your concerns, to make your comments, to give suggestions on how we can improve on the place, to give feedback, what products you think we could introduce, you know, these kind of things. So Team BENN, we're asking members of the credit union to vote Team BENN, to vote Team BENN for progress, to vote Team BENN for vision, because Team BENN is a visionary leadership.
You know, sometimes I curse myself for going to the comments, but a lot of people ask me why I read comments and why I follow up the trolls and so on, because, and I said before, they let me into the mindset of the people we're dealing with. I know I said it was your last question, but permit me if you have the time.
Go ahead.
Marcel Erskine says that the PPP will not sit by. I want to get it correct.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This government, that's what he said, this government will not sit idly by. Mr. Amsterdam, let me make it clear. This government will not stand by and allow the hijacking of the credit union by a few political agents of the PNC. It will not happen. Right? Let me note for you guys in case you miss it. This government, Marcel Erskine speaks on behalf of this government. Let's keep that one in mind. Right?
Yes.
So, this government certainly has a horse in the race. Your response to that?
You know, Kadaki, it was the present committee of management who introduced this whole political thing. You know, once I was listening to one of their mess conferences, and I'm hearing that politics and politicians and some politicians are involved, and who is not a member of this party, who's not a member of that party. So first and foremost, Team BENN, the members of Team BENN, we're not politicians, and we are staying clear from that. We are a group of concerned persons who would have banded ourselves together to look into the interest of the poor people property, as one of my colleagues says, the poor people prosperity. I don't know what the goodly gentleman is insinuating, but I want to make it clear, we don't have any political agenda. We don't have any affiliation to any politician. We don't communicate with any politician. We are not being advised by any politician. No politician is funding us. We are a group of concerned members of the credit union who are prepared to stand up, and to stand up not only to be counted, but to stand up for the rights, not for ourselves, but for the other membership and our generation, because we would want to know that come the next couple of years, our children, our grandchildren can be a part of the credit union and to benefit from the credit union. So this whole thing about politics, we're not a part of that. And we have no other agenda apart from ensuring that the credit union be properly managed, that the credit union's management be placed in capable hands. That's the only interest we have.
Thank you, Aslin, and that is indeed your final question. Let me make it clear. Let me say, there are a lot of people who believe that I've taken sides in this issue. I've said before that I generally don't check on this and that and the other. I look, I assess, and I give my support where I think that I've seen evidence of having the interest of people at heart. I just received the call, as you are aware, and in all fairness to the call and the advice given, I want to open this forum to the other side. Team Van Slightman, I assume that's the name of the team. And so if anybody, which I assume, from Team Van Slightman is listening, hit me up. 6225933 is the number on WhatsApp. And let's see if we can make this happen. I'm willing to, this is my first program for the day. I'm willing to do another program later in the day, talking with the Van Slightman team. Right? As an outlier, maybe I can do tomorrow. I really don't want to do tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow, I usually do my oldies on Saturdays. That's how we unwind. So if anybody from Team Van Slightman is listening, or you know of anyone from the team, tell them I have an open invitation for later in the day. Once they contact me, I set the time, I do the advertising, and we can have a program so that I can hear their parts, their aspect. There's a story got two sides. Sharman said got about four. So I would like to hear what is on the charts of Team Van Slightman. Not only what do they have to offer, but also what are the preparations being made for Monday's meeting. Good, so somebody share that around for me, and let's see how that goes. Thank you again, Aslin. I wish you guys the best of luck. I wish you success, as some will say, in your conversation with the judge. And most importantly, I wish the best of luck and success to the general membership of the Guyana Public Service Co-op Credit Union, because they are the people I'm concerned about. They are the people. You can't have a minority. You cannot have a minority creating chaos in the lives of a majority. One of the things that I'm peeved about, and I said it before, is listening to Harmenstein say nobody can dictate what the Committee of Management does. This has to be your private property, and that peeves me. And I'm saying that the majority of the membership must, whether it be Monday or whenever, come out and determine in an unambiguous way what they want for the Guyana Public Service Co-op Credit Union. Right? Thank you again, Eslin. I don't know if you have anything to say just before you leave, but that's your time.
Yes, Kudaki. I want to make the members and the public at large aware of my other colleagues on Team BENN. So we have Mr. Kirk Fraser, we have Miss Vanessa Kissoon, Mr. Marlon Cole, Mr. Christopher Thompson, Mr. John Anderson, Mr. Patrick Mentor, Mr. Judah Luisi, Mr. We have Miss Candice and more, Miss Mahalai McCalmont, Miss Beverly DeJohn, and of course, Mr. Trevor Ben and yours truly, Eslin Harris. So members, come out on Monday, come out with your questions. Come out with your questions, ask the questions, ask all the questions you wish to have. And I'm encouraging you at the same time to vote Team BENN for continued progress. Kadaki, I want to say thank you very much for having me this morning. And we can avail ourselves. If you wish to have us again, we are ready. We are ready. Thank you. And thank you to your viewership.
Thank you for coming on and sharing your time and thoughts with us.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. That's Team BENN. Those of you who are looking at the screen, that's Team BENN there. And I am told that tomorrow, the 22nd, they're going to be at the Haslington Grove NDC boardroom. Yes, so those of you who have questions and so on and want clarifications, you can go to Haslington NDC boardroom tomorrow at 4 in the afternoon and meet Team BENN there. There you have them. Trevor Ben, Patrick Mentor, Dr. John Anderson, Beverly DeJohn, Candice Moore, Mehalai McCalmont, Dr. Marlon Cole, Vanessa Kissoon, Christopher Thompson, Kirk Fraser, Eslin Harris, and Judah Louisi. Right, so you can check them out tomorrow, Saturday, at 4 p.m. at Haslington Grove, NDC. And that offer to host Team Van Slytman, Corbin, remains open. Good. I don't know. It's 22 minutes past the 8 o'clock hour. There's so many other things I would like to discuss. But you know what? I can open up the lines. Open the lines. The lines are open for those of you who would like to comment, those of you who have opinions on this matter, those of you who want to talk about some of the other things I spoke about. And certainly those of you who would like to address Marcel Erskine, whatever, whoever it is, right? Marcel Erskine. I really enjoy, as they say, it's best to keep your mouth closed and let others believe you're a fool than open it and remove all doubt. Right? Marcel is saying to me, Mr. Amsterdam, do you know that 2 members of Team BENN came from failed credit unions? Come on, members, we'll not allow that same toxicity with the GPSCUU credit union. Marcel, do you have the evidence that these 2 persons were responsible for the failure of their credit unions? Like I usually say, I don't try to impugn the character of anybody, but Marcel, do you know that there is at least 1 member of Team Van Slytman that has been charged and placed before the court for corruption? Embezzlement, I think. I usually say when these 2 teams are weighed on the scale of math, I hope you went and found out what is the scale of math. In my mind, Team BENN weighs less than the fellow. Y'all can check it out. I don't know. Caller Life, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Brother Kadaki. Good morning to all the viewers and listeners. Sir, you told us this morning about a situation in the police rank from, I think it was some place out of town. Actually, who was doing all these, who's been discriminating against black people and doing all these illegal acts, right? He spoke about that, and you know, one of the sins, I think, of the David Granger-led administration and by extension the coalition, right, is that they started to prosecute some of these crimes. I just want to put this in there. I don't want to cry over spoiled milk, because you don't cry over spoiled milk, but these things need to be said, because these are things that were done that affected the coalition supporters and other people in the whole, either directly or indirectly. So saying that, so they started when they went into power in 2015 with the Republican administration. They started to prosecute some of these, investigate some of these cases. They even started some agencies and so on. But nothing to the supporters and to all of you, nothing ever came out of them. Because I think that they needed to have dialogue with the judicial system, and to see what it is that they wanted to expedite some of these cases, because it seems like these cases just started and it never finished. No one ever got found guilty or nothing like that. No one ever paid a price or anything like that. So the then opposition said to the supporters, you see, all they did was name and shame. They just witch hunting, and all they did was name and shame. And that's how it looked, right? Unfortunately, we all know the people who committed these acts, and they did commit these acts, right? But like I said, it's a sin that nothing never came out of these parts, and nothing came out of these charges that were laid against these people. And these young people, this is why I think there should have been dialogue within the judicial system and the then administration, because now we see that these same people who were committing all these crimes in the people government back then, they start doing it again. This person you were talking about this morning, this police person you're talking this morning, say he's in the force for 20 years, meaning that he was in the force before 2015, June 2015, and then he would have been doing the same thing, committing the same crimes before 2015, and maybe he would have eased a little bit in 2015, but he started now. His government came back in power. Now he started doing it again. So that is the reason I'm talking that it was a great sin of the coalition that they did not prosecute some of these cases, right? Let's look, for example, here. You think that the 2020 election, they started after they were placed, they were wrongfully placed into power in the 2020 elections. What they did, they started prosecuting people like Myers, Lowenfield, Sutton, and the other old dude that they locked up for a while, right? The thing is that, and until now, 2 years on, they can't find nothing on these people. There's no evidence, but they still decide that they're going to charge these people and they're going to prosecute these people. You think that if there were any inch of evidence that these people did any wrongdoing, they would be in jail now, right? So the problem is that people are not faced with responsibility for the wrongs that they did. Right. There's absolutely no problem. There's absolutely no pain, no for what they did, the wrongs that they did. And the greater administration, they did this and they didn't do anything wrong. All they did is that they wanted to be an elitist group. They wanted to see the law go the right way and so on. But the law dictates that these people should be brought to justice, right, in an expeditious way. And if they want the enough manpower in place, they should have gotten the manpower, judges, whatever, magistrate, whatever, to get it in place so we could get these people in these cases heard. Right? And so that's the situation. If they had fixed the system back then in 2015, the little time that they had, we want to see all these people come back and doing all this crap again. So I'm hoping that when this government changes again, whoever goes into power then, they realize that whenever you commit a crime, right? Whether it was 100 years ago, once the law allows you to prosecute that crime, if there's no statute of limitation, that crime should be prosecuted and that person should be held accountable for the wrongs that they did. That's what I want the future administration to know. Because these people here, they prosecute people who haven't committed any crime. And that is where we are. We're a lawless country. And people do whatever the heck they want to do. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. You know, it's Free Talk Friday. So Free Talk Friday, I usually talk my mind. You sometimes get to see the darkest side of me. You know, some people say you're dark like midnight, you're ignorant. Listen, when I listen to some people call on this program, and they talk about all that the Granger administration should have done in 5 years, I am praying that the next government, especially formed by the AP and UFC, would have a magic wand. Y'all hear say? The next government formed by the AP and UFC, or anybody except the PPP, must have a magic wand, so they can just wave it. And all of the misgivings and bad behavior of the PPP can be dealt with condignly. Sometimes we have to be realistic in our thinking. Yes, law and order must be the guide for every single society. Law and order. Yesterday I was talking with someone who admitted one thing. He said the Granger administration created a more orderly society. But in the same breath, he accused them of making it hard for people because they were afraid of money. Right? The underworld economy, or the actors in the underworld economy, accused the Granger administration of making it hard because people couldn't make money, people weren't getting hustles. But that hardship, as far as I'm concerned, resulted from the society being ordered. We have to decide, what do we want? As old people say, you can't get your bacon, you can't get it in bacon cake. You gotta decide. You can't get your cake and eat it. You have to decide. The Granger administration did what they could have effectively done in 3 years. The argument is that they could have done more. I have no qualms with that. But one thing I'm certain, they couldn't do everything. They couldn't do everything. And a lot of these people who are whistleblowers now, or who are complaining now, were complicit in covering down a lot of these issues during the Granger administration. Let us not run from that fact. They were complicit. And so, bringing these things to the fore after the fact, and having every Tom, Dick, Harry, John, Jane, grandmother and grandsister and everybody pointing fingers and said the Granger administration failed to do this and did that. I think sometimes we're very unrealistic. Caller Live, good morning.
Good morning, tonight. First of all, I want to thank you for reaching out to the other group and giving them a chance. Even though it's too late, they're welcome. There's a few things I want to touch on with you. I don't just now. She mentioned that you're not political, but that's a Kissoon is political, and Triple N. And the other side too are political. So put it in a nutshell, I hope this doesn't end up like the Indian power TV station. And then
Yes, I'm here, I'm listening.
I hope it doesn't end up like the Indian station. And then the people are gonna put their own people. That's another can't get us stick together, we gotta put our own people. So we have to avoid that. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Caller Live, good morning.
Yes, good morning, sir. You just had a member from Team BENN on your show there, and they said that politics, they don't involve in any politics. let me remind your viewership and you that Mr. BENN was injected into the public service credit union by the APNU government. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me make this clear. You have to be a dead human being. You have to be a dead human being to not be involved in politics. So all those of us who come and make disclaimers that this is not political and I have no interest in politics, let me tell you straight off, is nonsense. So if Eslin says it's not political, let me tell Eslin it's nonsense. If Karen Van Slightman says not political, it's nonsense. Politics affects our everyday life. Everything about our life is political. You tell anybody I say that, and I dare anybody to contradict me. Right? Call all the line. Understand that. And it is one of the foolishness, I think, that causes us to pay such scant regard or to be so weak in our approaches to dealing with situations when we're confronted. Everything is political. It is political. But having an interest in politics, there are different levels of politics, and there's a different level of political involvement. I might want to be a political leader. I might want to be involved in the day-to-day political hustlings, if you call it that. That makes me more political than the person who just living a life and is being affected by political decisions, etc. Right? I have a right, according to the laws of this country, according to the UN declarations of human rights. I have a freedom of association. And so you're telling me that because I am associated with the PNC or the coalition or the PPP, I have no right to show an interest in how an organization that I'm contributing financially to is managed? I have no right to want to contest the leadership of that organization because I've associated with a particular political organization? Nonsense you're telling me this morning. And the voice might very well be the voice of Marshall Erskine because he is spewing the same nonsense about Trevor Ben being injected into the Guyana Public Service Co-op Credit Union. The Guyana Public Service Co-op Credit Union was in tatters. And just as how the PPP goes about setting up interim management committees left, right, and center, and they did it for several years in local government, the coalition saw the need to fix the Guyana Public Service Co-op Credit Union based on the pleadings of its members. And so they had to set up an interim management committee. Trevor Ben was the person who led that interim management committee. And even if you're saying that the coalition injected him, after he brought the Co-op Credit Union to the place of conformity, they had an election and he was duly elected. He was duly elected by the membership. And so are you saying to us this morning that the membership had no right choosing who they wanted to lead the Co-op Credit Union? What nonsense y'all telling me, man? Vanessa Kisun is associated with the coalition. She's also a public servant. She's also a member of the Co-op Credit Union and therefore has local standing and has a right to contest its leadership. Just like Van Slightman and all the others and many of those who are cloak and dagger PPP members. They got a right. Who stopped them? Y'all come out for this foolish bandwagons. Call it your life. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Kadak. He left the thing in its own lane. You see, they get these house slaves to come on these programs, our program, where we are making meaningful contributions and we teaching people who got good gray matter that could absorb what is being said. And they get a few of them to come in, either they type in the comments or they get a call in, and when they're calling out, they stray program from where it's supposed to go. Everybody, once you got that Rama said, once you are a sensible person, you will be affiliated to a political party or a movement of your choice. And it is not because you are affiliated to a party. Everybody in the country wants to acquire the age of voting. You should be able to go and cast a ballot to the party of your choice. Hence, once you have attained that age and you go to a poll station and you cast a ballot, you are politically affiliated to whosoever you cast your ballot for. So that jackass, I know you're going to say don't use them words, that jackass is a jackass. Let the jackass go and eat grass. Right now, me yard full of grass. It could come here and graze it down because this little finger I can't get for me. I put to the jackass and then he would graze down the grass for me. Anyway, with the public service and credit union, I want y'all to learn a vital lesson. The government installed regime has it so that people who they know that don't see eye to eye with them, they debar them from press time, ear time. And y'all have got to know that the got places like you and other talk shows like they say, this type of media. Y'all must be supporting these media because it's a small business. And if when you got to bad times you could come, you come out and don't only wait when there is problem like this to take to the airwaves. When y'all ain't got problem, you could come and give a little spot check and do a little update. So people wouldn't only see you when you got problem, then you run in. You keep checking in and you're doing spot checks, spot updates, and the install regime will see that with all they cut off the media where you could give out credible points and notices and what is going on. There is a forum where you could still deliver. And when you do that, people will be looking out to hear what is going on. Now you talk about the police going to check out a certain place, a letter that was sent. Now that is what happens. And I want the Guyana police force to know that things that they think it is being hidden, it is coming out. There are many whistleblowers like BASCOM, and all what they're doing is coming out. And what people wouldn't want to know, I know the outer world is taking full stop to see that the police force that is known to the world, who is supposed to be for service and protection, went to a place that isn't known to the world and were denied to do what they went there to do, to check out and whatsoever. But if them same police, they come to a person home and the person, the thing, they would shoot and kill the whole family, take all the guns, put it in the fetus so they're in the mother belly, and so that the police shot and shoot and kill them and they walk away. There is where the police must show the force that is so against unarmed and innocent civilians who they gun down willy-nilly around the place. There is where they must take up arms, but they can't take up arms there. You hear? Too bad we call them back off, stand down, and they had to follow the orders. Back off, stand down, they had to follow the orders. I wonder how the police force looking. The police looking force in Guyana looking like the CCJ right now all around the world. So let them continue. And protesters, remember, Tuesday, don't go and eat up sweet meat and start the holiday and you get drunk. Tuesday is the protest at 12 o'clock. I looking out for y'all because I will be there. Nobody can call my phone Tuesday to tell me anything because I'm not answering any calls. Don't call my number. I got not protest. Bye-bye.
Thank you for your call. Let me say this. And it comes down to education, and that is why I love what I do. I think it's chilly. But there are societies in this country, there are countries in this world, where every citizen who is of age has a voting card that is sponged or marked in some way when you vote at an election. And when you turn up for services in government offices, you have to present that card to verify that you participated in the election. And if you did not participate in the election, you get denial of services. Right? It's only in backward societies like these it's an issue. Right? For folks to partake in elections, for folks to associate with political parties. Listen, every American I hear about is either Democrat or Republican. Very rarely I hear of somebody who's what, neutral or something to the extent. I am not sure if it's recorded on their official documents that they're Democrats or Republican. But people generally add this description to their, what is wrong with political affiliation? What does political affiliation say? That I as a citizen don't have the right to partake in the happenings in my society? Good morning. You were trying to get the program.
Yeah, I wanted to say that I'm number 428. I'm number 4, member number 428 in the Public Service Credit Union. And therefore I'm very concerned about this way in which the chairman of the executive could be removed. Like a couple of people sitting down and deciding that he could be removed when he was voted in by the majority of members.
Thank you for your contribution, sir.
Thank you.
Right? And the sooner Guyanese wake up and recognize the importance of their political participation, the sooner we will get a better society, the sooner we will get a more accountable. We will get more accountable politicians. Because they're political activists and they're politicians. Politicians, quite frankly, make their daily bread out of politics. You know them, they're in government. How accountable do we hold them? Listen, I see yesterday the British Prime Minister Truss or whatever her name is. 44 days she spent in office. Call all the line. 44 days she spent in office. And she resigned. Among the reasons she gave is that the mandate which I've been given, I can't fulfill it. Right? Many will say she failed at the job. But you know what she got as a reward for her failure? She is now entitled to a monthly stipend, or whatever they call it, or allowance of £144,000, according to the article. Plus security, etc. Would you say you got value for your money? Do you think she is accountable? Or do you think she has been accountable? In this society, we got former presidents earning $3 million a month or so in pensions. Whether they're young or they're old. Have we been holding them accountable? while they were in office and out of office?
No, these people.
In other societies, when the likes of Bush and Clinton and all of them become former presidents, do they go and take up vice presidential positions? Do they remain in the corridors of government
No.
while collecting pensions still? Or whatever the allowance is? Y'all up on stupidness in this country. Call A Live, good morning.
Good morning, Kadaki. Kadaki, the subject that you just talked about there. They cannot do that. There are rules and regulations, and they have to stand up to the rules and regulation, the laws of the country. Next point I want to talk about, when you talk about credit union, you people, if you have Republican, you have Democrat. All of us name, if you're Republican, you have a list with all the Republicans. When it's election time, there's a big folder come up. And when you go to vote, they roll the paper out. And when they roll the paper, they come to your address. If you do that address, and they will tell you your name is not there, they will give you a ballot immediately for you to pull up, and that's the only way you're going to be able to vote. If you're a Republican, it's the same thing. If you're a Democrat, it's the same thing. So I do understand why Guyana cannot roll out into the best interest of these things. Unless they want to keep on doing skullduggery. You cannot, a country cannot run properly. And these are the people who are in the top dogs. They come into other countries. They're going to England, they're going to Canada, they're going all over, they're coming to America. They don't see how the country is running. Why you don't want betterment for your country? Why you don't want betterment for your people? There's so many people, like people visit other countries. They say, okay, they go out to their country and they see how things are doing. They want to get involved to help their country. I got friends who from Barbados, who from Canada, who from Jamaica. They go to their country and try to help their country progress, take on children, do so much good things for children, help children to go to school. People from the Philippines help their children to go to school. Why we Guyanese people cannot roll out that same thing, man? Why they always got to feel in a party? Nobody wants to be in the party because all of them is doing skullduggery work. So you prefer to go and help a person who you want to help. Don't you think all those children in my village, Buxton, where I come from, I would have wished if all of them could have come to America, come on a visa, come and go and see and get education and learn things the right way. But some of them, no matter how you try to help them, to encourage them, they still want to stay in the dirt, in the nasty, filthy dirt. They don't want no upliftment for themselves. Why? You there in this program every day, you're encouraging them, you're telling them the right thing. Even some they don't want to go out to get involved with party people. Take the education, what you're learning every day. I have learned so much about Guyana politics. That is mind-boggling to know that you live in a country that does not behave like that, and you wonder how people want to stay into this stymied dirtiness all the time, only stymieing each other. When they see someone come to help someone, oh, they run and they push themselves up. Or if you send something for them, they don't pay interest, and then they come and they talk somebody else's name. Stop that nonsense and try to progress and do good things. When you do good things, good will come your way. People will come and help you. You will come from nowhere. Put your knees down and pray and ask the good Lord to guide you and protect you from this nonsense. Don't worry with the party people there. Look out for you. Put your knees down and pray and ask God for betterment for you. Kadaki, don't worry with them. God will take charge. Have a blessed day.
I'm not worried. At least not with them. I'm worried for us, this country.
Exactly.
Sorry about that. I thought the call was finished. The lines are open still. 6225933 is the number to call. We have about 7 minutes to program time. I don't know about y'all, but I don't know. I don't know. I must just wired differently. Call it live. The lines are open. Call it live.
Morning, Kadaki, and morning, Guyana. Couple of quick points. The letter that you read from, I guess, the ranks region 2, something struck me is that they're asking for the corrupt, racist officer to be reassigned, not fired. And that, to me, is the important part of the letter. There it is. You're asking him to be reassigned so he can take his racist, corrupt behind elsewhere. And that is why Guyana will remain where it is. Corrupt, corrupt, corrupt. Come on. What stupidity is that? To be reassigned a corrupt when he should be fired and prosecuted. Next thing is, Africans are always trying to take the high road. Oh, and we are not political. Come on. Those folks have been politicking all their life. And then you want to now tell yourself and others, oh, you are not political. Oh, why we can't understand that? And that's why we are going to always stay where we are. Because we want to take the more political astute route, not saying certain things. Come on, people. We got to understand the nature of the beast and what they're trying to do, but apparently we cannot see what they're trying to do with the Public Service Union and what Trevor Ben has been doing, which is providing the service that the other racist entities are not doing. But no, we are not able to see that. We are supposed to be, bright and smart, but yet still when it comes to the things that matter, we are simply just not there. Here is it that we've got Africans in Guyana who are got this subject and that subject, but getting licks every day from the racists and can't figure out how to defeat them because we are buried in this way of thinking that we've got to be this goody two-shoes type of people. Come on. Stop getting licks. Pull the rope that is beating you and turn it back on your oppressor. And that's my take.
Thank you for your call. It's 3 minutes to the 9 o'clock hour. Remember, Twilight Tonight, Club Twilight Tonight, it's after lunch and Club Night. So you can come down to Club Twilight from early in the day. After lunch, come and relax, play some games and thing and watch some movies or something. Just come and relax at Club Twilight. It's called Fridays After Lunch and Club Night. Of course, appropriate music and entertainment will be in place. The drinks are always cold and at a good price. And tomorrow night, it's karaoke and oldies night at Club Twilight. So come down. Karaoke and oldies. Those karaoke lovers, come sing a tune or two, man. Come bust a tune. Right? And those who love the oldies, come and enjoy it. Dance it, listen it, sing it, whatever you want to do with it. But just come down to Club Twilight and have a great day. Sunday, it's Sunday tea. We get in English, eh? Sunday tea in the afternoon. Sunday, you can come out and have an easing into evening time. Easing into evening time with Selected Delta. So check out Club Twilight. The weekend begins at Club Twilight on Thursdays. And so we're into the weekend. Come down, have a good time. Good. It's now 8:58 hours. I'll take this final call before wrapping. Call A Live, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Kadakian. Don't bother with them. They're stupid now who come attacking nonsense for politicians. They want them communists, so because they want farmers, what take off the funds and CBC. This is what I want. This is how the country is so lawless. Then you got another one saying that
Whitney went to Sophia, and that is not that he get released. I live in a far from country, and I never see women dress up so to meet nobody. There's the people who they carry and they're fooling people. So let it go to hell. Let it go so. I am going to Trinidad because me money and I got to look after the interest of my money. So let it go so. Later for now.
Thank you, caller. I have a voice note.
Kidaki, a pleasant good morning to you, sir. We got to realize that the People Progressive Party, civic,
Call, I did say final call, but I'll entertain you for a few minutes.
right now they are in the
Hold the line.
process of trying to make Guyana second-class citizen. We already cannot access loan from the banks in Guyana. And you see what they're doing? They're going to all level for us to don't owe nothing in Guyana. Not even the bank, like the credit union. They want to take from us. And they're using our own house slave, as Rhonda say, you know what I mean? To help to carry the wicked and vindictive agenda. Thank you very much.
Caller, go ahead. Be brief as you can.
Yes. Good morning, Mr. Kadaki. I wasn't able to, because my system is normally turned off, so I don't know what you're saying when I'm calling. Sorry about that. Thank you for accepting the call, and good morning, all Guyanese. On the matter of the CCJ, very quickly, what Anil Nandalal did was questioned as a matter of totally unacceptable to the rules of the court, to the ethics of the court. And Judge Witt, who was the presiding judge on the decision, said that this is a very serious matter. It's a very dangerous matter. Now, I would like Mr. Roysdale Ford. He doesn't have to do what I say, but he must know that there is a pathway. I am hoping, let me make a correction, I'm hoping that there is a pathway to the ICJ. Now here is why I think there's a pathway to the ICJ. Adrian Saunders, who was the traditional president of the CCJ during when the petitions were placed before the court, he came and met with the vice president, installed Nandalal and Ali. There's photographs to show that. Do people know that Adrian Saunders wrote a thesis on Caribbean court ethics? Yeah, he wrote a thesis on judicial ethics in the Caribbean court, in the Eastern Caribbean court. So a person who is writing on ethics and ethical behavior, he comes to Guyana, meets with the opposition, a party to the petition, and meets with the administration, the PPP, and doesn't meet with the opposition. Now, in the context of danger, that Justice Witt alluded to, I am saying, personally, that I am suspicious that Sanders came and took bribe money. That's what I'm saying. That if he could disprove that, let's go to court and disprove that. But I'm saying that a man who wrote ethics for the Eastern Caribbean Court should have known better. But he decided to come because he had to come in person to collect that money. He couldn't do it over Zoom. I'm saying that. If they want to prove me otherwise, in the context of Judge Witt talking about this is dangerous, because that's what Judge Witt means. So I'm making the nexus between Judge Witt's assertion that it is dangerous. Judge Witt also says that Anil is giving the public opinion that he has an inside line to the CCJ. But I'm saying that based upon the facts that we have seen thus far, Anil and the PPP does have an inside line to the CCJ president. We got photographs on that. Okay? Now, this could go to the ICJ. Here's why it could go to the ICJ. Venezuela went to the ICJ on a border dispute issue. Venezuela went to the ICJ on an issue on a dead man's letter. On a dead man's letter, Venezuela reneged on the 1899 agreement. And you're telling me, compare a dead man's letter. We have got actual photographs of the sitting judge sitting in a room with parties who are adverse to the petition. So that is sufficient reason why we should say to the CCJ, here are grounds why we should say to the ICJ, that the CCJ was not a unbiased arbitrator. That we could prove. Let them have the discussion. We got videos and we got ethical violations. Now, some may say there are no rules for ethics, but how can you have a sitting judge coming to Guyana, meeting with the opposite, meeting with the PPP, meeting with a Jack Dio that we have got on video that he is the man that always doing things on the government side with people like Sue? How we know that when Sanders came, it wasn't the same situation like Sue? Let's take it to the court. That's for justice. That's for Roysdale Ford. Now, Roysdale, you may say that. What are the grounds? Well, let me close up. Do you know that the predicate grounds for which Venezuela reopened that case in the International Court of Justice was predicated upon a dead man's letter? And the dead man, the lawyer in the case, said that Venezuela could not have gotten a fair deal. Guess why? Because the justices in the negotiations for the 1899 arbitration were in favor and in the pockets of the British. They were influenced by the British. Therefore, the arbitrators shortchanged Venezuela. And that's the predicate issue on. So what we're saying is that Guyanese and Roysdale Ford and them were shortchanged. I am not the only one suspicious. Judges Witt is suspicious. And Judges Witt said this is dangerous. And that's the nexus. And I'm saying if Venezuela could get a hearing, we could get one because we got evidence, photographs. We got more than a dead man's letter. Once again, thank you for listening. I hope we take heed. The time window is short. So I hope that there's no such a whole lot of procrastination on the matter. What will happen is that the International Court will have to void the CCJ's decision. Because we're saying it could not have been an unbiased hearing. It's impossible to be with all these facts. It's impossible. We did not get a fair hearing on July the 19th, 2022 in the CCJ. And we have evidence to support that suspicion. Once again, thank you for listening.
Thank you for calling. 7 minutes past the 9 o'clock hour. Y'all know on Fridays how I stay. Y'all know I stay on Fridays. Anyhow, have a good day, y'all. See some of you down by Club Twilight tonight. Come let me drink some cold ones and hang out, man. And definitely see you tomorrow night for karaoke and oldies night. And Kams Saturday Rhythms will be coming to you live from Club Twilight. Stay well, be good, continue to undermine the government. If I hear from the people at the Co-op Management Committee early enough, I'll publicize it and look out for a live late in the day. Closer to the afternoon hours, I dare say. Maybe about 5 o'clock would be a good time, right? Yeah. So I give you people time to get home from work at 3:30 and so on. Yeah, so look out for live about 5, 6 o'clock. If I get a response from the team, then from the Van Slightman team about what's happening over there at the co-op. Have a good day. Goodbye. Don't mind me, I'll be reading my comments before I close the program. As long as I get y'all a tune or two, what y'all want? I like Captain the Ship is Sinking because that's where we are. So let me let you go with Captain, the ship is sinking.
From the Trinidad, location 7 miles off the coast of Venezuela. SOS, mayday, mayday, mayday. The Trinidad, a luxury liner, sailing the Caribbean Sea. With an old captain named Eric Williams. Oh yes, it's smooth and free. But sadly, Eric Williams passed away. The ship hit rough water and then someone turned the bridge over to a captain named Chambers. Me blood crawl, things start to fall. Hold me head when I say that wall. Captain, this ship is sinking. Captain, the seas are rough. Oh yes, we gas tank almost empty. No electricity, we oil pressure reading low. Shall we abandon ship, or shall we stay on it and perish slow? We don't know, we don't know. Captain, you tell me what to do. Whoa, whoa. She was a beauty with wealth that few surpassed, and in her day she sailed majestically. There were few in her class. Faithfully she fulfilled her sailor's need. Some were overpowered by greed, and so they pilfered slow. Some took by bulk and go. Now she looked dull, she's at a lull. She could barely sit on her hull. Captain, the ship is sinking. Captain, the seas are rough. Oh yes, we gas tank almost empty. No electricity, we oil pressure reading low. Shall we abandon ship, or shall we stay on it and perish slow? We don't know, we don't know. Captain, you tell me what to do. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The Trinidad, in her day of sailing, she was a friend to one and all. She never once ever hesitated to answer all SOS calls. And yes, well, she always did her best to help out those in distress. Now it's so sad to see she's in difficulties. Though she helped share, some of them share, and sarcastically declare, Captain, the ship is sinking. Captain, the seas are rough. We gas tank almost empty, no electricity, we oil pressure reading low. Shall we abandon ship, or shall we sit on it